Hi, how are you doing? This is Travis from Curiosity Marketing Group, and today I'm going to show you how to log in and change various parts on your website. So the first thing that you'll want to do is go to your domain and then go to /login, which will take you to this page where you can type in your username and password. And if you currently don't have one, we can create one for you. Just need first name, last name, and your email. We can get all that set up for you. So whenever you log in, it is going to take you to the dashboard of WordPress. There's just some various information here, nothing really to worry about. Um, so let's go to the home page first, and we can talk about the navigation up here. So if you ever wanted to change the wording or maybe remove one of the items up here, you can always go over to the dashboard. Go to Appearance, Menus, and just make sure that you have the primary navigation selected. There currently isn't any other menus, and then you can just, let's say I want to get rid of spirits, click on that. You can hit remove if you want it. You can change the navigation levels, not label, so we could, I don't know, name it hello if we wanted to. And then if you ever wanted to move them around, you'll see the little move icon, and you can just literally drag them up and down. You can also make like children of a parent item if you just move it over below it and to the right of it. Yeah, and then whenever you're all done making your changes, you just want to make sure that you hit save. I'm not going to because I don't want to make any of these changes. So the next part we will talk about some of the images on here. We'll most likely have to help you with just because some of these edges, like this edge, is actually on this photo. So we'll just have to make sure that we have that. These buttons, for instance, these are actually HubSpot buttons. So if you wanted to change those, and along with every other button on the website, that'll all be done through HubSpot. So the next parts we'll talk about is I'll show you how to change the About Us, the gift cards, the events, and the special orders section. So if we go to pages, all pages. Now, so here's something to be mindful of. So if you make a change and you actually don't save it, it'll actually say, hey, are you sure that you want to leave? You haven't made the changes, or you haven't saved the changes that you made. So you can either go, yeah, I'm sure I didn't really want to make those changes anyways, or you can hit stay and then make sure that you save your updates. So if we go over here to Riverside Wine and Spirits, and if you notice it's got an indicator saying that it's the front page, you can hit edit. And if we scroll down, you can see the different sections that we have here. So you've got the About Us, gift cards, events, and special orders. And these work very similarly to kind of Word. So if you just make sure that you have it in visual, and then you can just come in here and type your text. You can remove something, or you could bold it if you wanted to. You could make it italicized if you wanted to. You could even link it. So let's say we wanted this to go to Google. We could do that. And something else to keep in mind is, since this is an external link, we don't want it to overwrite the current page. So we can hit link options, open link in a new tab, update, and there you go. And then you have a link. And it works like that for each of these boxes. The one thing that you want to make sure is, if you don't want to be in this text view, which will actually show you some of the tags, just make sure that you're in the visual view. And all you do is just click on the visual. And then whenever you make your changes, make sure that you hit update. Once again, I don't want to make those updates, so I'm going to move on. The Instagram section here and the event section are all kind of dynamically created. We can go over the events here. So what you'll do is, if you go to events, you'll see currently we don't have any events. I'm going to actually put this event back very quickly just to show you what would happen. So let's say what's today? Today is the 8th. So let's say this is on, I don't know, the 11th. And we'll say this is the 11th. Okay, so a couple things to note. This will be your title. This is your event image, which I think for the most part we just use the placeholder event image. So if you clicked on edit, you can see it's this image right here. Keep in mind of the dimensions, just in case you decide that you want a different image to be here. Just make sure that you stay within these dimensions. And then I'll close out of that. You have the event date, what time it is, and a little excerpt about it. And then over here is what's called a post expiration. So basically, like, since the event is on the 11th, we'll want the post to go away on the 11th. And normally what we do is we do like a basically at midnight sort of thing, and we can put it into a draft mode. If you don't want to use this content again, you could always just delete it if you wanted to. But normally we put in drafts just so, you know, if it's kind of a reoccurring event, we don't have to recreate this information all the time. So let me publish this real quick. Okay, so now we know that it's updated. If I refresh this, we should get the event. You'll see we get the event right here. Perfect. If we click on view all events, you'll see that it's here as well. So then if we want to get rid of it, we can hit move to trash. And then once that's done moving to trash, you'll notice there's a couple different tabs up here. So if we click on trash, it actually doesn't delete it immediately, just in case you accidentally hit delete. So what you can do, internet's being a little slow. So you'll see here that you can actually restore it or delete it permanently. So let's say, oops, I didn't mean to put that in the trash. You can hit restore. Or if you're like, yeah, I don't need that anymore, you can hit delete permanently. So the next page that we will go on to is the wine page. And a lot of these are going to work the same way. And if they do work the same way, which is basically that WYSIWYG editor where I was showing you how it's very similar to Word, I'll just kind of move past those pages, and if there's anything different, then I'll make a note of it. Okay, so let's go to the wine page. We'll open that up. I guess we can leave that over there. So you notice it works the same sort of way. So we've got our WYSIWYG editor here. This is just a unordered list, which you can create here. It's called bulleted list here, and this is a numbered list. So if you ever need to change any text or anything, you can just highlight it or put your cursor there, delete it, make it bold, italicized, link it very similarly. So let me go out to the front end, which I think a lot of these pages are very similar as far as the way to edit them. This is a HubSpot button. That's a HubSpot form. So this will all need to be changed on HubSpot. As far as this content is concerned, that will be in the same sort of editor. One thing to note is the header image here. So this image right here, once again, it's got this texture on it, which we can always help you out with as far as changing the picture in the back if you ever want to do that. But just as an FYI, that image is here, and it's called the featured image, and that's what displays up here. So this page works in the same way. Okay, so that's the same as well. The tastings I showed you earlier, that was shown on the home page and on this page, and now since we've deleted it, there's nothing to show there. This is a HubSpot button again, HubSpot form, and another HubSpot form. Okay, another form. Okay, so now we're going to move into the blog, and I actually want to go back to, let me see what page it was on. I think, actually, hold on a second. I think, is it under event planning? I think it is, actually. It is. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so let me explain this a little bit. So, if we click on blog on the home page, or I'm sorry, within the navigation, it's going to take you over to your HubSpot site where all your blogs are. And actually, let me open this as well. So, for whenever you learn how to add blogs on the HubSpot side, which Ashley told me that she sent over some excellent documentation, so that should be really easy to figure out and to start doing. One thing that you'll want to note is if you want the event to be a like an event planning, like a, I guess like a, what's the word for it? How do we categorize these? Just I guess a general event. So not a generalized blog, so a more specific to a category of events, which is what we were going for here. So these are all events that were going on. You just want to make sure that you categorize it as so, because whenever we click on the WordPress side to click on read more events, it's going to go to the same page here. And then also, whenever we update or add a new blog that is categorized as events, you'll want to make sure that you'll update it here as well, which works in the same way as that WYSIWYG editor. So yeah, so I think that does it. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you can certainly give us a call or email us, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thanks.